Hey guys, it's Joe. Happy Monday morning. This is the Joe Madden Sports Podcast. My first guest of the day, Dave Rodgers, professional sports handicapper. Picks from Dave is where you can find him on Twitter. Dave, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's Monday morning. It's kind of drizzly and rainy here. How's the weather that way?
It's the opposite. It's clear and going to be 115 degrees. So
Wow, so someone's in the wrong spot, and it's definitely not you. I'm glad you're having that beautiful weather, Dave, and it's great to have you on the show. Now, I did have you on my picks and predictions show, and I really love what you're doing here in the industry, so I wanted to invite you on this one. Can you tell us how you got started, Dave?
yep. So I've been a handicapping sports sort of personally for 7 years, but been no stranger to gambling in casinos. I'd been sneaking into card rooms at a young age to play poker, and that's probably a different story for a different time. But last November, I created a Twitter page out of necessity to join a handicapping event. I guess it would last for a month, and decided to stay. I had no plans initially to stay. Have never been a big social media person. I am a millennial, but barely by a couple years. So I never really caught on to the social media thing, but created the page. And after that month, wanted to stay and keep going on a bigger scale than just an inner circle of friends and family that kind of tailed me. And the two reasons why. One is that there is a really solid portion out there of handicappers that are sort of in a community, an us versus them sort of mentality. And there's nothing more than I like personally. Well, there's very few things in life I like more than taking money from casinos and sports books and bookies. That's my thing. I'm about that. So I wanted to be able to give some information into the community and also get some too, so we can all sort of share in the winning. That was the first thing. The second thing is, and it's kind of alarming to me with how much information is out there, that there's very few places for the everyday casual bettor to come and get simple information. And that's the type of person that are really coming to us for advice. It's not going to, I mean, we kind of share advice and get more technical, and it's more of a high level type of deal. But if I'm stumbling onto Twitter, I'm going to Vegas and want to place a bet, it's hard to find bets on pages in the same times. People aren't posting them with any consistency. As far as how much to bet, that's crazy. There's a lot of people giving advice to bet 10 times their unit size, 10 unit whale bets. That's a four-letter word to me. So I wanted to create a place that had picks that were posted the night before the game so people could decide what to do. All 1 unit bets, so they're measuring it on the same playing field. And probably most importantly, results. I post my results, and I think, and I would urge everyone to post specific results, pick by pick, because I want people to have confidence in my advice. So that's the space that I created. I've been going since November, slowly growing, and I'm here.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Dave. I'm glad you continued after that contest. We got a message from Pedro in here saying you are the master of good vibes.
Pedro.
And I feel that looking at your Twitter, you're putting out that positivity, which, I absolutely love. So, Pedro, thanks for jumping in the comments here. And Dave, thank you for bringing that positivity to the community. You're right. It's us against the books, not against each other. So, something a lot of people need to remember in the Twitter space.
Oh, definitely. And Pedro's from Portugal. He's one of the guys that initially came on and is part of that solid group of people that we're DMing and throwing information back and forth. And it's really a great place, our little space here on Twitter.
Absolutely. Now, Dave, can you tell us where the passion and the love for sports and sports betting came from?
Well, it's probably twofold. So I grew up playing sports, and that stopped in high school, but I always really enjoyed I enjoyed playing it, but I enjoyed the strategy of it and the mental aspect of it and beating someone that way. And that rolled into, at a young age, getting involved and playing cards. I started playing poker really young and did that, learned some other games and some other advantage play and stuff like that. But there's always this competitiveness to win. And then also, like I said, casinos and sports books, they're no one's real friend. I know it's all exciting and shiny and flashy, but they're there to take your money, and they're there to take, for lack of a better word, suckers' money. So that's why I decided 7 years ago, hey, I'm going to try to find edges where I can and stop just throwing money at the window and actually get some back.
Absolutely. So what would you say your handicapping style is? You said that you place out bets, all 1 unit per bet. Are you doing teasers and parlays? Or are you looking at that as kind of stay off situation?
So every sport's different for me. And, I'm also trying to learn other sports and constantly grow. But I would say that most of the time, so for giving advice, everything's on a 1 unit scale. It doesn't mean that I don't go bet it again or pump it up. We all do that. But as far as giving advice and being able to measure things equally, that's what I do. Parlays come I don't give parlay advice. I was doing it initially for 2 and 3 leggers just for fun. And I think people want to see that. And I do that too here and there. It's just not going to be on my page because it's not a winning proposition and there's no edges in it. It's just for fun. So if you're with your buddies, March Madness or college football Saturday, I have no problem with, throwing some money on a 10-team parlay or something like that to hit a home run. But I don't give parlay advice personally.
Yeah, absolutely. They're shiny and they're fun, but they are, at the end of the day, you don't expect to win those big parlays, but fantastic when they do hit for sure, Dave. Now, the industry, what's your favorite part about it?
Well, the industry on Twitter, winning money, obviously. That's
absolutely.
But probably the second part, especially on social media, is that camaraderie. I mean, you have to wade through the shiny lights, like you said. You have to wade through the muck, and there's a lot of information out there that's purposely meant to mislead and attract you in, make money, all sorts of different stuff. But if you get to the part that's good, your show, the people that you have on, that community, it's so powerful, the information we can share in all of our perspectives, because you put that in a big pot and it's just amazing.
Absolutely. I love that. Now, which sports are you focused on right now, Dave? We know it's coming down to just baseball pretty quick here, but are you following all the major sports, college sports as well, or what does that look like for you?
I do. Falls are very, very busy. I handicap both football, NFL and college football, NBA, college basketball, and baseball. I'd love to get into soccer and into MMA, but I think those are full-time jobs, even hockey too. Those are just sports that if you didn't grow up with it or you don't have a full-time deal, it's hard. But right now, NBA is winding down. I do have a play for tonight. I did a video on it, so I won't talk about it here. That's on. I also have a YouTube channel. But baseball,
what's your YouTube channel, Dave, for everyone to find?
Picks from Dave.
Okay.
Everything's picks from Dave. I'm surprised that was available.
Yeah.
But it is.
Great name.
Baseball we're about to hit the dog days. It's going to be my only option. So I'm really, really focusing on maybe bumping it up. I usually give 3 to 5 picks a day. I might go to 7 just so people can kind of pick and choose what they want to do. But it's going to be baseball until August.
Okay. So what are you looking at in baseball today?
So I'm looking at the game between the Marlins and the Phillies, and we've got two really good pitchers, Sandy Alcantara and Aaron Nola. And Aaron Nola is someone that I really love to fade. He's a top 5 fade list. He's a good pitcher, but I just have a thing for guys that aren't that good that make a lot of money. His teammate Bryce Harper is another one of those. But these are actually really 2 great pitchers, and I give the edge to Sandy Alcantara. I mean, he's got a better ERA. Their whips are about the same, but Aaron Nola has shown that he's prone to giving up home runs recently, which always scares me with a pitcher. And so I'm leaning towards the Marlins. I think looking at these 2 teams with this pitching matchup, also looking at their bullpens and their offenses, everything kind of evens out. And whenever I look at someone or 2 teams and I have them, at a pick 'em, anytime I'm getting plus 120, which is what I'm getting in the Marlins, I'm taking that. There's value in it. So that's probably my best MLB pick today.
Yeah, great value. And the trends do lean towards Miami for sure here. Miami's won 5 of their last 6 meetings. So I like it. Great way to go with that. Any thoughts on that total? We know these teams have trended to the over as well.
I'm actually the other way, and it's just because these pitchers have been so good. Their bullpens have been equally not so good. So it's very likely that it could get there. Because whenever I see a starting pitchup matchup that conflicts with how a good starting pitcher matchup and a not so great bullpen, I tend to stay away from those totals. But I personally lean to the under.
Okay. Anything else you're looking at today, Dave?
Well, I'm looking at a couple other games. The other one that caught my eye is the Twins and the Mariners, and Chris Archer's on the mound for the Twins, and Chris Flexen is on the mound for the Mariners. And really, these are two pitchers that Chris Archer's been pretty good. I think he's regressing. Chris Flexen seems like he's regressing from his career. He's just not having that great of a year. And both of these teams are in the top 5 in first 5 innings, how many runs they have. So I'm looking at the over for the game, but I'm also looking at 4.5 is the total for the first 5 innings. And I think we might get there in the first 3.
Okay, that would be great to see. We all love those runs coming in. What are we paying on the over 4.5 in that first 5?
I have it at 115. So it's lightly juiced, but it's hard to get away from that with first 5 inning bets. You usually, it's within that plus 15 to minus 15 range. So
absolutely. Well, that is going to be a great game. That one kicks off at 10:10 Eastern, you guys, if you're looking to put the bet in on that. Now, Dave, where can everyone find you on all social media, your YouTube and everything? And where can they get your picks?
Yep. So my picks are on Picks from Dave at Twitter. That's my handle. I post every night, the night before the game, so people can take that in and get the information they need. All 1-unit bets and all of my results are posted. Usually they're posted once a month. I'm going to try to do it weekly. There's a spreadsheet. And then I started a YouTube channel. Right now I'm doing 1 video a day. Hopefully eventually it changes to other content and collaborations I have working, but that's also Picks from Dave at YouTube.
Awesome. Well, you guys, make sure you head on over to YouTube, subscribe to Dave's YouTube channel so you don't miss out on those videos coming out. Dave, I want to wish you all the best in your bets today. And with everything that you have going on, I'm glad to see you in this industry. Keep spreading that positivity and keeping completely transparent. It's so needed here.
Thanks, Joe, and congratulations on your show. It's great.
Thank you, Dave. You guys have a wonderful morning. I'll be back in the next 15 minutes with another Joe Madden Sports podcast. Dave, have a fantastic day. We'll talk soon.
You too.
Thank you.